This ancient practice can silence the mind in 60 seconds. What if you could quiet your racing thoughts in just 60 seconds? What if you had the key to an internal fortress of solitude, a place of absolute quiet you could get to anytime, no matter what chaos is happening around you? It sounds like a superpower, right? But it's not. It's a skill, and the principle behind it is ancient, found in yogic practices that are thousands of years old. The specific technique we're talking about today has been adapted and perfected over time. It was popularized by a former Navy SEAL, Mark Divine, to help the world's most elite soldiers maintain absolute control in the most high-stakes situations on Earth. This isn't a gimmick or some fleeting wellness trend. This is a command code for your own nervous system. By simply learning to breathe in the shape of a square, you can dial down the noise and find stillness in under a minute. In this video, I'm not just going to tell you about it. I'm going to teach you how to use it right here, right now, so you can take back control over your own mind. Section 1. The modern epidemic of a noisy mind. Let's be honest, for most of us, the inside of our head is not a quiet place. It's a relentless storm of to-do lists, worries about the future, replays of past conversations, and a constant humming anxiety that has pretty much become the background music to our lives. We lie in bed at night, physically exhausted but mentally wired, as our brain just refuses to switch off. We sit at our desks trying to focus, but our attention is fractured, pulled in a dozen different directions. This isn't a personal failing. It's a symptom of the modern world. We are constantly bombarded with information, stimulation, and pressure, and our nervous systems are paying the price. And this constant mental chatter is more than just annoying. It's corrosive. When your mind is always on, your body is too. You're living in a low-grade, chronic state of fight or flight. Your sympathetic nervous system is in the driver's seat, pumping out stress hormones like cortisol, keeping your heart rate up, your muscles tense, and your breathing shallow and rapid. This constant state of alert wears you down, contributing to everything from chronic pain and high blood pressure to a weakened immune system and mental health struggles. We try to silence the noise with distraction, endless scrolling, binge-watching, anything to drown out the voice in our head. But these are temporary fixes that often leave us feeling even more drained. What if the solution wasn't outside of us, but inside? What if the off switch has been there all along? Section 2. The lineage of power. From ancient principles to Navy SEALs. The technique we're about to explore is most commonly known today as box breathing or square breathing. While this specific method was famously adapted and popularized for the Navy SEALs by former Commander Mark Divine, its principles are timeless. They stretch back thousands of years to the ancient yogic practice of pranayama. In Sanskrit, pranayama means control of the life force. Ancient yogis discovered that by consciously regulating the rhythm of their breath, they could directly influence their state of mind, moving from chaos to calm, from distraction to focus. This wasn't just a spiritual idea, it was a practical tool. The symmetrical structure of box breathing, a perfect balance of inhaling, holding, exhaling, and holding again, is a formula for creating internal balance. This powerful principle of breath control wasn't confined to Himalayan caves. You can see echoes of it in the practices of disciplined warriors throughout history, like the samurai, who used breathing to achieve a state of clarity before a duel. Fast forward to today, and this same core principle has been adopted by another elite group who operate where the stakes couldn't be higher: the United States Navy SEALs. In the middle of a firefight or during grueling training, SEALs use box breathing to stay calm, focused, and in complete control of their body's stress response. It's their on-demand tool to bleed off stress, override panic, and make clear-headed decisions when lives are on the line. From an ancient sage to a modern special operator, the truth is the same. Whoever controls the breath controls the mind. Section 3. The tutorial. How to breathe in a square. Now it's your turn. I'm going to walk you through this step by step. The beauty of box breathing is its simplicity. All you need to remember is the number 4. We're going to inhale for 4 counts, hold our breath for 4, exhale for 4, and hold the breath out for 4. That's one cycle. It takes just 16 seconds. 4 cycles will bring you to just over a minute, and by then, you will feel a noticeable shift. To make this even easier, let's use the visualization that gives the technique its name. Imagine you are tracing the sides of a perfect square with your breath. First, find a comfortable position. You can be sitting in a chair, on the edge of your bed, or even standing in line. Just straighten your spine a bit to allow your lungs to expand fully. Rest your hands gently in your lap. Let's prepare the body. Take a normal breath in, and now exhale fully through your mouth, pushing all the air out. Get empty. Now, we'll begin the first cycle together. Step 1. Inhale. Gently close your mouth and inhale slowly through your nose for a count of 4. Imagine your breath traveling up the first side of the square. Feel your lungs filling up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Step 2. Hold. Now hold that breath at the top. Don't clamp down or create tension. Just a soft pause for a count of 4. You're tracing the top side of the square. 1, 2, 3, 4. Step 3. Exhale. Slowly and gently, exhale all the air out through your mouth for a count of 4. Imagine the breath traveling down the third side of the square. 1, 2, 3, 4. Step 4. Hold. And finally, hold your breath at the bottom with your lungs empty for a count of 4. This is the base of the square. Just rest in the stillness. 2, 3, 4. That was 1 round. Let's do 3 more together in silence this time. I'll cue you at the start of each part. Just follow the square in your mind. Ready? Inhale. 4 counts. Hold. 4 counts. Exhale. 4 counts. Hold. 4 counts. Again. Inhale. 4 counts. Hold. 4 counts. Exhale. 4 counts. Hold. 4 counts. Last one. Inhale. 4 counts. Hold. 4 counts. Exhale. 4 counts. Hold. 4 counts. Now just let your breath return to its natural rhythm. Keep your eyes closed for a moment if you can, and just notice. Notice how you feel. Do you feel that? The quiet, the stillness. That is the power you've just tapped into. That entire exercise took about 64 seconds. Section 4. The Science of Stillness. What you just experienced wasn't magic, it was physiology. You just performed a targeted intervention on your own nervous system. Let's break down what just happened. Your body has 2 opposing operating systems. The sympathetic nervous system, our fight or flight accelerator, and the parasympathetic nervous system, our rest and digest brake. For most of us, that accelerator is stuck to the floor. Box breathing is one of the most reliable ways to manually hit the brakes. Here's how. The slow, controlled pace of your breathing sends a powerful signal to your brain through the vagus nerve. This nerve is the main highway of your parasympathetic nervous system, connecting your brain to your heart and lungs. When you breathe this way, you are essentially telling your brain, "We are safe. You can stand down." This triggers a cascade of calming effects. Your heart rate slows, and your blood pressure can decrease. The production of the stress hormone cortisol is reduced. The brief holds also allow carbon dioxide to build up slightly in your blood. This isn't a bad thing. It actually helps slow your heart rate and increases blood flow to the brain, leading to that feeling of calm, clear-headed focus. A 2023 randomized controlled trial published in Cell Reports Medicine compared different breathing exercises to mindfulness meditation. It found that just 5 minutes of daily structured breathing, including box breathing, improved mood and reduced anxiety. In fact, breathwork practices showed a greater improvement in mood compared to mindfulness meditation. You are literally changing your brain and body chemistry with each breath, moving from a state of reaction into a state of control. Section 5. When and where to use your new superpower. So now you have this incredibly powerful tool. The next step is to actually use it. The real magic of box breathing is how versatile it is. It's discreet, requires no equipment, and you can do it almost anywhere. Think of it as your secret weapon for the friction of daily life. Feeling overwhelmed by emails? Before you dive in, take 60 seconds. 4 cycles. No one will even notice. Stuck in soul-crushing traffic? Instead of gripping the steering wheel, use that time to reset your nervous system. 4 cycles. About to walk into a nerve-wracking presentation or a difficult conversation. Find a quiet corner or even a bathroom stall and do a minute of box breathing. You'll walk in centered and calm instead of anxious and scattered. And maybe its most popular use, conquering insomnia. When you're lying in bed and your mind is racing, box breathing is your off switch. It pulls your focus from anxious thoughts and onto the simple, rhythmic task of breathing and counting, calming the physical stress that keeps you awake. You don't need to wait for a moment of high stress. The more you practice when you're calm, the more automatic it will become when you really need it. Try setting a reminder. 1 minute, 3 times a day. Once in the morning to start your day centered, once at midday to clear your head, and once in the evening to decompress. The more you use it, the stronger that calm on-command connection becomes. Conclusion. Today you've learned more than just a breathing exercise. You've learned a fundamental skill for navigating the modern world. It's a technique built on ancient wisdom, tested by warriors, and validated by modern science. You now have direct access to a state of calm and mental clarity, and it's just 60 seconds away. You don't need an app, a guru, or a silent retreat. All you need is your own breath and the knowledge to use it. So my challenge to you is this. Try it. The next time you feel that familiar wave of stress or overwhelm begin to rise, don't just let it crash over you. Pause and breathe in a square. Experience for yourself the shift from chaos to calm. If you found this helpful, please subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next deep dive into powerful tools for your mind. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Where are you going to try box breathing for the first time? Sharing your intention is a powerful way to make it stick. Remember, the noise around you might be unavoidable, but the noise inside you is optional. You have the power to find the quiet. All you have to do is breathe,